at this time? Hearing none, Mr. Preston.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. For the month of reports, it was a relatively slow month with building and zoning with 15 permits in each. However, there were 2 new homes started in the month of July. Code enforcement, as I've noted to you before, we are working on the civil infraction, and we now have developed a civil infraction ticket that I think will meet district court's needs, and we had 45 enforcement actions last month. That's all I have, unless anyone has any questions.
That's good news.
You didn't find out who's mowing the solar things, did you?
No, I've reached out to them, but since I no longer have zoning jurisdiction.
Oh, okay. I just thought I'd ask you.
Yeah, I'm a nobody to them. I have no enforcement over the solar farms at this point.
Oh, okay.
Which is nice. No.
Pardon?
Which is nice.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Olszewski. Anyone else? All right, thank you. All right, we'll move right into our agenda items. Item A, we'll entertain a motion to appoint the recommended members to the Construction Board of Appeals as presented. Jeremy Morgan, Justin Jones, and Jeff Peltier.
I make that motion.
Okay, we have a motion. I will support it. Item A is on the floor. Questions or discussion? All right, hearing none. All in favor of moving these names on to Wednesday, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? They will move on to Wednesday. Now item B, we'll entertain a motion to appoint Greg Broder, Cameron Horvath, Julie Sorensen, Jerry Meyer, and Mark Frazier to the Brownfield Redevelopment Board.
So moved.
Support.
We have motion and support for item B. Questions or discussion?
So is this is a pretty big overlap with the land bank,
Yeah,
right?
if I can speak
Yeah.
to that. One of the things when we had one of our recent land bank meetings was we had a specialist from the state come in and explain to us the powers of a land bank versus brownfield. And it's like they are 2 hands of the same organization, each with its own powers. So what we realized was that we have a brownfield redevelopment authority, but it's been inactive for years. I think one member has passed away, some of the others are inactive, and that it will make perfect sense for us to, well, we can't legally merge the 2 groups, but appoint the land bank board to the brownfield board. We are required to have a minimum of 5 members with, interestingly, no real specific requirements like on some boards, like somebody from here and somebody that just 5 members. So we thought it would be very efficient for us to appoint the land bank board to the brownfield board. There will be a few extra members there, and their terms will expire within a few months to within a couple of years. And we'll pretty much have the land bank and the brownfield, at least that's the plan, be on both boards. So that's the reasoning for that. I think it'll work very well. Julie, did you want to add anything to that?
No, I think that explained it very nicely, Greg.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any
Julie's
questions?
Our land bank chair.
Any quick? All right. Thank you for that explanation. Regarding item B, all in favor of moving these names forward on to Wednesday, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Those names will be moved on to Wednesday. Anything else for the committee? All right, hearing none. Second call to the public. Meeting's adjourned.
Never mind, we'll just move right into the next one. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Call to the public, anyone that wishes to speak. If not, we will move right to Julie.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Treasurer's office, my new part-time employee started on the 1st. Her name's Sarah Barton. I'm hopeful that she's going to work out just great. So glad to have her on board. The summer tax collection is underway. cities are due August 31st. So I think City of Owasso and Corona are August 31st to avoid any interest on those summer taxes. The MyHab program, again, is coming in wonderfully. We've had 33 households receiving help, over $184,000. Got 6 more payments pending out there, totaling a little over 30,000. There was no land bank meeting this month for summer break, I guess we can say. We didn't have any business. Working on cleaning out. So I got a new retention schedule, and I happily saw that we've been keeping some things for years that I don't have to. Our township and city settlements, this is the biggest. We've kept, some of them take up like 2 boxes, paper green boxes. We keep the spreadsheets and everything in there from our settlement. It says to keep them for audit and 1 year. I cleaned 2003 out, 2007 out. So I'll get up in and that's just out of our vault. So I'll get up into the attic hoping tomorrow to mark some boxes for the guys to get out of there and not have to move them again. There was a county treasurer conference last week. Due to my staffing, I just did it by Zoom. I did go over on Tuesday night and had dinner with the group though, and had good discussion around the table at dinner, and just learning some things, and good group to be associated with. So
Okay.
that's about all I have.
Any questions for Julie? Thank you.
Thank you.
very much. Let's move to the agenda item. I need a motion to approve the replacement of 3 correctional deputies not to exceed step 3.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion.
Support.
There's a motion and a second. I know that they have some vacancies, and looks like they're gonna have some replacements, so.
We lost 5 in the last month.
Yeah, I heard that last week. Okay. Any discussion on that, other than being knowledgeable about it? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item B, I need a motion to approve the payment to MERS for 911 in amount not to exceed $1 million from 911 fund balance.
So moved.
Support.
Motion and support. Again, I know 911 was in last week, and they have a fund balance, and they felt they could use $1 million to help get their funding up, hopefully someday up to 100%. And this is the start. Yeah, so a lot of discussion about it. Yeah.
I believe I believe the plan is for yet another of the same amount next year in their budget, and that will bring them up near 100%
Right.
funded on their pensions, and that was very good news for the employees.
Yes, very good news. Okay.
I guess I hadn't heard that they were talking about another million?
Yeah, I think so.
We-
That's what I
Could we
heard.
have Lieutenant Norling, cause we talked about this at length at the 911 board meeting, that was not discussed,
It was not.
it was not?
Oh,
Okay.
So-
Well, let's have
possible I heard wrong.
Angela. Yeah, you have the floor.
So last week, we met with Dr. Boggs and Tracy for our budget meeting, and Dr. Boggs recommended adding it into our budget for next year and doing the same thing again.
Okay.
That's where that came from. That's really the discussion that we had, kind of was at the meeting. That was all that was really said at that point, unless, I don't know.
I was there too, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, it was that, we could give $1 million in the budget next year, $1 million next year, but if we step up a little quicker, the investment portfolio may be a little better for them. And this year, the investment portfolio for most institutions, such as MERS, like Shiawassee County, or any county in the state, or any municipality, is down approximately, it's 7.9% on average, about it's 8%. So again, we hope to get a little ahead of this, so we don't dip below 60% in any one of our MERS active accounts. And so we thought this might be a really, since they have a pretty good surplus, and they'll have a pretty good surplus again next year, maybe a good idea to get done.
Yeah, so what we discussed, Cindy, with the million from this year, we'll be paying off unfunded liability for Division 29 and 30. We'll leave Division 28 at about, I'm guessing around 1.6, 1.9. It's like somewhere in there of unfunded liability left over.
Yeah, and that'll get 524 of this money in the next year, and that'll bring that close to being caught up.
So what are we looking at as a surplus between the revenue we're bringing in and the yearly expenses?
I looked at for just starting the budget for 2023. I looked at approximately, I don't have it right in front of me, but about 400,000.
Okay.
So we're pulling in additional to do that again next year.
And presently you have a surplus of, what is it?
I haven't checked recently.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite a bit, other than your regular budget.
Which a lot of that was from the 911 being paid back by the county, but I'm not certainly opposed to doing another million, but I think we just have to keep it in the back of our minds that ultimately this board is responsible for 911. So if their fund balance goes too low and something happens, then we will be responsible for that. So they're not a separate entity.
I think at the end of the year, it'd probably be wise to maybe meet with our finance board and just go over things and see where we're at, because we have had some unexpected expenses this year. So I still think we'll still be in a good position where we're able to put, if something happens and we can't do the million, I think we could at least do 500 and still be okay. So.
Yeah, we really kind of don't know what inflation and what type of, it's a very unusual recession because you can't find enough employees, but the economy is cooling, but you still can't find enough employees.
Yeah,
It's kind of one of those.
yeah, it's hard to predict. You never know what the surcharge is going to be when it comes in. And, I still think we'll be.
Did you get the sewer problem taken care of?
I'm still waiting to hear from Tim about what we need to do or what the cost would be to hook into the city sewer at the 911 building. I don't have an estimate for that yet, so I'm not.
I was surprised it wasn't hooked up to in the first place.
Me too.
I was shocked they spent all that money, never hooked up to it.
I wasn't here for that part, so I don't know what the decision making or I don't know. But
I don't remember it ever being discussed.
I don't know.
You,
I know we have city water, but.
yeah, you have city water. I think it was just taken for granted. You might have had city sewer,
Yes.
but you didn't.
No.
No. And that drain field is in kind of a small area. I mean, I talked to Tim last week and we're doing budgets and they have it all worked out.
Okay.
Actually, the city of Corona has a plan that they're gonna put some money into, so we wouldn't have to run it as far as maybe we thought we were supposed to.
Yeah, I think the question is if we have to bore under the road or down to where the apartments are. So I'm not really sure. That's the last I heard, so I don't know.
Yeah, but Tim thought it was, we just have to bore straight across, cause they were gonna do something too.
Okay.
Yeah, so, but I'm not sure of what has transpired this, or in the last week or this week. Yeah,
I'll try and see if I can catch him tomorrow, and I'll let you know.
hopefully you keep.
I just thought I'd ask.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm ready for it to move forward too, so we don't have to keep dealing with these issues. So I picked the wrong week to go on vacation, I guess, so.
Oh, of course you went on vacation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank
Any
you.
other questions? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Thank you. Item C, I need a motion to approve the salary consideration and per diem rate increase as presented in the letter from the Shiawassee County Road Commission.
I'll make that motion.
Support? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So their per diems will be more than ours.
Well,
They're more important we are.
No, we get $50. The proposed new rate is $75.
For their board meeting, but the other ones are comparable. Cause we get 65 out of county, we get 50 for, in county boards, so.
They're still higher. That's $25 higher for a full board meeting, which is basically what they have on a regular basis.
Right, the full board is higher, that was not.
And their base is lower, I believe.
Yeah. And they're busy.
They want the base from 41 to 7 then, right?
Yeah. That 4,190, I think it goes all the way back. I saw that information.
2004, I believe.
Yeah,
And before that, their
2006.
previous raise was in 1998.
yeah, yeah, I see that. John Pytosh signed that. Yeah, I think this puts them in the range of maybe where they should be. So, any other discussion?
I believe also, if I may, Mr. Chair,
Yeah.
that if this is approved this week, it will not, in consultation with our attorney, it will not go into effect until January
Right.
1st.
Right, that's correct. Yes, that is the proposal, January 1st. Yes. Okay, any other discussion?
Well, I'm not opposed to it, but, and it's their money, so but I think it goes back to kind of the discussion that I've raised before when we talk about retaining good employees. We also have to retain good, competent, elected officials.
Yes.
So that is what we're doing here, hopefully.
Yeah. I agree. Couldn't have said it better. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries 2-1. Thank you. Okay, just one other thing, working on the Parks Master Plan. Parks Board met last week and we approved, site plans for Geck, Kirby Road, and Chi-Town, done by Row Engineering at $1,500 a piece, that's gonna be $4,500. And because we're working diligently to try to get the master plan finished up this year, so we can be in position January for grant monies from the state. And remember, the state has an extra $360 million they're putting in for parks and things like that for next year. So we want to be in position with our master plan, which it should be finished. I mean, we're hoping to have it presented a rough form in October, full form in November, and maybe approved in December. So,
I thought you was giving Hathaway that job.
yeah, he is. He's right at it. He's
Yeah, but you have to hire an engineer on top of him too, is that it?
to do the site plans. Yes. They can do it cheaper than he can because they have all the stuff to do it with. He'd have to take it in and instead of a pencil drawing, he would have to do
So what's he doing then? We paid him 700 or
7,000.
Yeah,
He's gonna do the plan, which he's about this thick again. He's got it all penciled up and ready to do. We are meeting every 3 weeks to go over everything he gets done. This plan, if we had somebody else, if we had Row Engineering do it, it'd be 50,000. So, it's a pretty good deal. So he wants because of, also too, keep in mind, this is another reason, keep you brought it up, Gary. The state, when they take an application now for a grant, they won't take any paper. I mean, you could send paper, but they will not say that's official. It has to be digitized. So everything that they receive has to be sent by digital or computer, and that's the only way they'll accept the plan application. So that's interesting in itself. So that all has to be done. So this is part of it, so we're getting it done now. Yeah, that's just a report on that. We'll have more next month. Okay, anything else? Public, anybody from the public? If not, meeting adjourned.